me after taking this as our eyes.
I don't care. I just want to drive around in my own ass. That would be so fun. I could count on spending money for Grease 2 on VHS.
I took a photo of the disgusting swamp that was the rice.
I wish I could have separated my patties to do that all the way.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 531, or 490.40, part 41. I'm John, your host, joined by my co-hosts.
It's like the Eternal September. Are you guys familiar with the Eternal September?
No.
Hi, Matt Haig. I'm not familiar with the Eternal September.
Are you, TJ?
TJ's here. I'm not familiar. But
all right. Our final guest. What's the Eternal September?
Eternal September is in the 90s. There was Usenet and news groups, and
that still exists too, by the way.
It does, but it's mostly spam and the binary channels for piracy and porn.
Correct. It is literally where if you want to download television shows, get a Usenet account.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's just the binary channels and porn that are and spam. That's the only three things that exist anymore. Every other news group was folded into Google Groups a long time ago.
And then murdered.
But anyway, so Usenet is a thing where like people would go and be dorks on the fucking internet in the 90s, but then AOL, if you had AOL, they would just let you, like, you didn't have to download a news reader. You could just use AOL and immediately access the news group, and that was in, I don't know, like September 94. I forget the actual year. But
this is ringing a bell
basically
now.
the idea is that the internet was never the same after that, so now
the
we live
normies
in
were on it.
Yeah, we now live in the eternal September of normal people being allowed to get on the computer. And I'm not gonna lie, for most of my life, I thought that was a pretty shitty opinion to hold. Like, you're a fucking elitist. At this point, now that normies have been on the internet for a solid 3 decades, they're right. They shouldn't have fucking got on the internet. It
I
fucking
agree.
ruined everything.
Yeah, well, they were right to gatekeep.
Yeah, they bring back bullying and bring back gatekeeping.
All right.
Honestly, that's my new official opinion.
I think honestly,
certified.
stealth bonus of AI slopification ruining the internet, it's going to turn it back into the old internet, where you actually have to physically go to places.
The internet as a concept is dead, but one thing I've noticed is that it is once again possible to just like meet up with friends and like have an event instead of like, well, you gotta just join the Facebook page, and then no one wants to do that because that's a pain in the ass. So they give up on the whole enterprise of having a get together. Like I'm doing book clubs again.
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like all sorts of shit.
Yeah, dude.
So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the internet is so bad that it is.
I went to let me see if I get the name right. I went to a church on a couple weeks ago. I think I told John about this already.
Yeah.
It's a Universalist Unitarian church.
We got those up here.
They're actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like I went there and they had like the flags on the flagpole were like the trans flag and a Black Lives Matters flag. And I went in and I was expecting it to at least be like a little bit religious, but like inclusive religious. But like they had like banners up for the symbols of every religion. So I don't even know if they're like, they are definitely a religious organization, but I think they kind of just like preach lowest common denominator stuff, which is funny because if you do that to every religion, you basically get a don't be a piece of shit and help people out, which is the good stuff that the religions have.
There are 5 in the area. Churches of that.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that there'd be that many in Madison.
There's a lot.
It surprises me that there's one in Springfield, though. I mean, it's not very big, but
it's a college town.
But I went to that place a couple weeks ago at a mutual aid fair, and that was fun. That was basically like someone who had the time and resources to just go there and set up a sewing machine, like fix people's ripped backpacks and shirts and stuff, and then a couple of my friends who ride bikes, they gave everyone who rode there on a bike a free tune-up if they wanted it. There was like free food, and my friend brought like a canvas and some oil paints and just let people paint. There's other people doing arts and crafts. There's people doing like laptop battery checks, and then like also figuring out if they make a replacement battery for your laptop, stuff like that. Because they worked at, I think, Batteries Plus or some shit like that. So they could order stuff from OEMs.
Cool.
Now, basically everything there was free. Like nothing costs money, but like some things are like advice to tell you that you're gonna have to spend. Like if your bike is fucked, they can tell you that you have to buy something to fix your bike. But
shit's fucked,
they can't just do it. Unless they have one that's laying around. That was another thing. Like if you just got stuff that's useful and you want to bring it and just like see if people want it. Like one thing that I've done is I've bought myself a electric leaf blower. Because I'm fucking tired of my two-stroke. I'm fucking tired of my two-stroke leaf blower and mixing the gas and the oil and then pulling on it for like a million years to try and get the damn thing going. So the next one of those things.
Me after taking SSRIs.
Yeah.
Flock of flame.
You know, it's that's tangent, but like when I got on my SSRIs that I like changed because I'd been off them for a couple years, then I got back on them this summer. I got a new doctor as well because my old doctor retired, and the new doctor was like, "Now there are some side effects with this with libido." I'm like, "It's not a problem." She's like, "Oh, okay, so you've been on these before." I'm like, "No, it's the other direction. It's that it wouldn't be a problem if they fucking wiped them out. It doesn't matter." But yeah, I'm thinking about taking that gas leaf blower to the next mutual aid thing and being like, "This is just fucking take it." Like, I could take it to Goodwill, but then someone would have to pay $30 for it to get it from Goodwill, and just fucking take it. Like, I'm not gonna get money if I take it to Goodwill, but these are people who go to a thing that doesn't suck. So if this incentivizes them to like help other people at that thing, then you know that's good. So I'm gonna probably do that at the next one I go to. But another thing was just like use my 3D printer and just making a whole bunch of like cable organizers and USB dust covers and little easy shit to print that I just print anyway all the time for like test prints when I'm setting up new filament or whatever. And then just bringing a whole box of those. Like here's all sorts of various shit that you can get. Yeah.
Various scraper test
little
print
tools.
things.
Yeah. Little tool, ice scrapers, all sorts of shit like that.
Yeah, I need to talk about my drink because I'm thirsty. Not to interrupt, but
no, I'm done.
I'm thirsty. So it was Halloween, and remember in Halloween last year, I got the Beetlejuice apple spiced apple or whatever. There are still 2 cans in my fridge from last year.
I should have fucking taken one whenever I was up there.
They're so bad. I can't even drink that because I mean it tastes like apple cider.
Well, when I come up next year,
yeah, okay, yeah.
Save one of them for me.
So they made a new Halloween flavor this year. You guys, anyone see this? Anyone on TikTok or social media? It's my wife.
What's a TikTok?
Informed me of the meme of Fanta Chucky's Punch.
Oh.
So there's a lady that drinks it, and
I really like the design of that can.
Oh, it is. I know it's very Chucky, like with the orange and blue. I'm gonna taste it. I'm assuming it's going to be a carbonated fruit punch. That sounds pretty good, because that's a good thing. Oh hell yeah, that rules. That's like carbonated Hawaiian Punch. It's great.
Hell yeah. I love Hawaiian Punch.
That's just what I wanted. So, yeah. Yeah. Fun. Well, and I won't be able to drink it next week because as I alluded to, I'm going to be having my colonoscopy next week because I turned 40. I'm an old man. I turned 40 and I'm a high-risk individual. So I get to get a delicious colonoscopy.
I'm a high-risk individual, but for other things.
So I'm looking forward to blowing my ass out for 2 days.
Hell yeah!
This is why I tell people not to get old.
So I love that
colonoscopy. I want to be allowed to do a colonoscopy on myself, and they're gonna be like, no, you have to be on so many painkillers, it's gonna hurt. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to drive around in my own ass. That would be so fun.
So I have so you have like
They better airdrop me the video of my fucking ass whenever I get mine done.
just airdrop it.
Yeah,
not even like.
You got an iPhone? Can you Bluetooth that to me?
Oh, okay. No. Okay. So I have. Okay. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. I was like,
Okay.
so I got a bottle. So the first part of the prep is a bottle of magnesium citrate. It's like a 10-ounce bottle, which I think is just 2 doses. Because I was like, you're just supposed to down the whole bottle. Which just seems like that's like an entire thing of medicine that you're supposed to down. But actually, apparently, you're supposed to drink a large portion of it anyway. So I do that. And then the next day, I have to drink. I have like a gallon jug. It's a Borg jug of Gavolite, which is I think polyethylene glycol and some other laxatives.
Did you get yours yet?
Oh, I picked it up. Yep.
What flavor?
Lemon.
Oh, that's what I got too.
Is it okay? The lady said don't dose the whole thing with
Fine.
lemon, and because you have to drink the whole thing. So if you don't like the way the lemon tastes, then you're stuck with it. And I'm like, I'm not picky. So as long as it doesn't taste like horrendous.
Dose it with the
Well, I think
spiced apple Beetlejuice.
Well, I think I can put.
Remember, it just kind of tasted like watered down lemonade.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine just dosing it like in there. Even if it's bad, I'm just gonna go to the grocery store and buy some Gatorade powder, like because you can't do red or purple dyes. So so I can do lemon or orange Gatorade. I think orange isn't. Well, I have to check the label, but I think it isn't using a red dye. It's like anyway. Regardless, lemon's good. Green Jello broth. I'm gonna be it's gonna suck for a couple days because I have to stop eating at noon on Tuesday. I think. No, here I have my prep instructions right here. 12 p.m. noon, 2 days before the test. So Tuesday. No solid food.
Whenever the Born in the 80s is gonna be such a funny title for a podcast. Whenever we're in our 70s. And we're just like, yeah, I gotta go and get my fucking entire body blown out. So I've got 97. We're just gonna be reading our pill regimens to each other.
Hell yeah!
I mean, we've already been reading our like medical charts and blood work. So
yeah, but like we're gonna be so old, and we're gonna be just like, I'm gonna be like, you fucking old bastards.
Right.
I'll be down here in my 60s, young and spry.
Are you doing your blood pressure?
I'm gonna check my stats right now.
Oh god.
See if I'm winning.
While John is checking his stats,
It's gonna be high now though because I'm all amped up on Chucky's Punch.
I don't have an interesting drink with me other than this orange cream zero sugar Coca-Cola.
Those are
Is that good?
Orange
I haven't tried the orange cream.
The orange cream is so good. It's very nice.
It's yummy.
But about a week ago, I was at some random gas station or convenience store,
Sure.
and I saw Mountain Dew trolley flavor.
Oh yeah, I have a
like
case
this?
of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's only diet. I thought we tried that on the podcast. Yeah.
You might have, but I just had it for my first time, the cherry lemon one. And a couple weeks before that, in preparation for this podcast, I found the trolley Mountain Dew.
Yes. Those are good. As I recall,
Yes.
what happened when I tried it was that the worms were nice and yummy, and then the drink had no sourness to it at all, so it was very boring.
The drink was tart, but not in the same like sour way. But no, these are very nice. There's 3 different flavors.
I know. I'm just like when you say this is a trolley soda, I am expecting it to be like sour. Like I want it to be a sour soda.
Like to punch you in the nuts through your tongue.
Mm. Oh man, so we had leftover Halloween candy, and Skittles will ruin your tongue. I realized.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize my tongue was like on fire. I didn't think they were that sour, but I guess they're just enough.
The regular Skittles or sour Skittles?
They're regular. I think they just enough sugar, you know, because there's still citric
Yeah,
acid
fair.
in there. You have a couple of those fun size packs.
My mom went to run a marathon like she does every year, and one of the free swag things that she got that she gave me was Soldier Fuel energy drink, 0 sugar, 200% B vitamins. I don't know why I would, if I need 100% of a daily recommended amount, I don't know why I would want 200%, but whatever. But this stuff is not good. First of all, it's bad. It doesn't taste very good. It tastes like some other energy drink that I used to drink when I was like 14. So it might be like Full Throttle or something that
Oh, okay.
I don't even think exists anymore. But it has so much citric acid in it that it really was so fucking sour from that. And I'm looking to see if there was any of the other ones like malic acid or whatever. Hey,
Just
that's pretty good blood pressure.
122 over
Yeah, it's not
81.
bad.
Yeah, I'm juicing though. I'm taking blood
That's
pressure
true.
medication, so it should be around 120 over 80.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want an energy drink that tastes like a Full Throttle or whatever, but with a lot of citric acid, so it's more sour
Aw.
and it's also
Man,
kind of bad.
I have such like fond memories of Full Throttle. That was the first energy drink I ever had. My friend Petey and we worked at a telemarketer over the summer, and we used to stop by the gas station every morning and pick up a can of Full Throttle each as our like coffee. You know, this is like in college. You know, in the summers, and drive. And we used to listen to like terrible music, and we would both like make CDRs with like insane music. He got the entire album of the band Ozone that did Numa Numa, and we jammed to that full album all the time.
That's a good album.
It is a
though.
good album. There's a lot of good
Not
hits
only
on it.
that, but the lead singer, what's his name? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Dan Balan, the lead singer of Ozone, had some solo songs that were also really good.
Oh, we got those too. Don't worry.
Crazy Loop and Joanna Shut Up, and I was big into that shit because I'm weird and
What country are they from?
Romania?
Romania?
Exactly.
I thought it was Romania.
No, you're not right. But it's just like Europe, Moldova.
Was that right? My second guess?
What did you say?
Moldova.
Yes, Moldova. They speak Romanian in Moldova, but it's not Romania.
Okay.
Anyway, so I mean, it's basically Romania. Yes, it's a similar country.
I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure it was in Romania in the music.
No, definitely it is official
And Dan
language.
Balan, yeah.
But it's
Anyway.
Moldova was part of the Soviet Union, and Romania was, and then so when they split, they separated to two countries. I mean, they're Romanian, like ancestry, I mean, this is a country that existed. Let me see. It says, yes, 1991. So it's pretty new.
Yeah.
The
fall
members of
Soviet
Ozone probably weren't born in Moldova. They were born in the Soviet Union and then became Moldovians. So anyway, it is.
Well, yeah, but back then they were called like Ukrainian SSR.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Sure. But officially, yeah. So, anyway, so that's like the Full Throttles were awesome because they didn't have like the energy drink stank in them, you know what I mean? Because they weren't like, like loading them up with taurine or creatine or whatever the fuck, whatever the fuck they put in those drinks. And
Guanine.
Yeah, yeah, all that shit. It's just like this is a bunch of sugar and a bunch of caffeine. Because I think it was, and oh man, energy drinks are insane now. Like, are young people okay? Like, no offense, like I feel old, but like, you get like my wife bought, or either got or bought a pack of Celsius because she likes Bubbler, the energy soda, but like bubblers I think have like 50 milligrams of caffeine. You know, it's like a little bit more than a can of Coke. You know, but the Celsiuses that are the same size, 200 milligrams of caffeine in that thing. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's 2 cups of coffee. It's crazy. Fucking people like dry scooping caffeine.
Liking Vault. I liked Vault. I remember because it
yes.
Yeah.
It was a.
It just tasted like Mountain Dew,
but with more caffeine in it, and so it wasn't. I think it was also a Coke product, so it wouldn't have been
Yep.
It would have been a mellow yellow
Yeah.
with more caffeine in it, I guess. But I remember liking that because it wasn't. Again, it was energy drinky enough, but it wasn't like so much guanine in it that your heart will just explode.
Do you know
But
what's fucking...
I was a Rockstar drinker. I did drink Full Throttle too, but Rockstar was my energy drink of choice at the time. So that's probably what this Soldier Fuel shit tastes like, is a mid 2000s Rockstar. And I remember I chose Rockstar as my drink of choice because it reminded me of Grand Theft Auto.
I like Rockstar. I like Rockstar Recovery. They're non-carbonated because that one has, I think, 130 milligrams of caffeine. Like, I want around 100 in my energy drink because any more than that, I'm going to be literally like vibrating off of my chair. Yeah. Like, so interesting. So like myths and legends, like Surge, right? Surge had the almost exact same caffeine content as Mountain Dew. It was actually less. It was 51 milligrams per serving instead of 55, which is what Mountain Dew had. So it was like one of those things as a kid, you were like, Surge is crazy. And it's like, no, it's just, that's the marketing. I think Jolt had a lot of extra caffeine. Right? Jolt Cola?
Yeah, I think so.
So that sounds right.
I'm looking it up. Jolt Cola had, yes, 71 milligrams of caffeine. So like 50% more than a can of Coke, which is around 45.
This Soldier Fuel shit that I drink, only 116
nice
grams caffeine. So it's really just like a cup of coffee. It's basically like what the Rockstars I used to drink had in them. Like now it's like 9 bajillion grams of caffeine, but this is a bit more like what I remember drinking. When I was a
I
teenager.
really enjoy coffee now, so that is all I drink.
Me too. I've always enjoyed coffee.
I always enjoyed
and I
coffee.
have an espresso machine now, so like if I want a latte or whatever.
I honestly think I would probably be more interested in getting one of those because, like, I mean, my coffee of choice is like an AeroPress. But it would be really nice to get that milk frother built-in thing so you can get like a nice actual latte at home because they're not that hard to make. I buy oat milk now to put in my cold brew because I still drink my regular coffee.
I'm a soy
black.
boy.
I love oat milk. I don't know what it is about the texture. It's like very...
I like oat milk too. I've just always liked soy milk. So when they're like, we've got other ones that don't taste like soy, and I'm like, well, I don't really need that. I like soy.
Fair enough.
Like,
yeah, that's fine. I just
I think my favorite of the ones I've tried though is cashew milk. But that is an expensive milk alternative. It's like 3 times the price of soy milk.
Yeah, oat milk is cheap as fuck. Like, so there's no point in...
But I love a cashew. Like I just love like to me that's just cashew drink. I can just drink cashews that way. That's delicious.
You can make your own nut milks at home.
Yeah, because they are just nuts and water and usually an emulsifier.
No, yeah. So I was looking. I saw this on. I forget what it was. What website? It might have been at Costco. They had a nut milk making machine like thing that like basically you like put the water in, you put the nuts in the top, and it does like the grinding and then the like steeping and pressing, all in like one machine. I'm like, oh yeah. No thanks. Honestly, I'll just buy my own. It's like, I don't know, Matt, you're a fellow CPAPper. You don't have like a distilled water maker. You just buy the jugs.
I don't have one, but I always want to like make one just because I feel so dumb buying distilled water in a big jug.
Yeah, but I mean, like, part of it is like...
It should be a thing that like you could get pretty easily.
Well, I mean, so they make them like distilled water makers that it's just basically just a big box that boils water. You know, and then condenses it. But like, our water is so hard in the Madison region that it just would suck because you'd have to clean that thing all the time. You know, so, I mean, the
IV has a
filter it as much as you can.
Yeah, But I mean, I just
Hy-Vee
buy.
has a refill station.
Yeah, I was about to say I just buy the jugs, and you get them at Walmart, and they're like $1.29 a gallon, and the gallon lasts you. Well, in the winter, maybe I'll go through 2 gallons in a month, but in the summer, like a gallon lasts a whole month.
I have well water because I'm not in city limits, so I don't fucking drink the water out of my tap.
Yeah.
I do not want. Well, like I grew up with well water.
It's full of nitrites and freedom.
And people are like, "Oh, it tastes so good," and
Yeah,
true, it tastes
I
better
love
than
well water.
fluoridated water. It simply does, but also it has stuff in it. Like that comes from the underground. There's a stream where anything could have shat and pissed and farted and cummed upstream of it, and now I'm gonna drink that.
Or like
and it's got all
industrial
bacteria
drainage.
and bullshit in it. I don't want that. I'm
That's
gonna
what
get
happens when I
UTI.
live upstream of you.
Yeah, exactly. So I cook with it, obviously, or if I'm making tea and I'm boiling,
and
it,
you're
that's
boiling
fine.
at that point.
But if I do not just drink the water out of my tap. I don't feel great about doing that. And like the well water I have at my house is much better than the well water I had growing up, which was just filled with red clay, and it tasted fucking gross whenever the well would start to go dry a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, for me, there's a lot of rust in my water because the well feeds downstream from a golf course, and its enormous irrigation system just constantly leaches rust into the fucking ground, which makes it into that water. So there's just tons and tons and tons of rust in it. So like it'll stain my toilet bowl red, which I do a good enough job on my own. I don't need the rust's help there. And I don't know, that seems like the thing. If I drank enough of it, I would get like a bladder stone or a kidney stone or something I'd have to pee out and it would hurt. So I'm just like, nah, fuck that. And I drink the bottled water. However, Hy-Vee has a thing, which I don't always go to Hy-Vee, so I don't always take advantage of it. But you could just bring in an empty jug and go fill it up, and it'll give you a little tag to scan of just distilled water, how much you poured into that jug. And it's even like 25 cents for a gallon. Because from their overhead, all they did was run one of those little distill things from city water and put it in a fountain that pours it out. So they have no shipping, no costs associated basically at all, like they do with the bottled water. I also let my cats have the gallon of spring water, because my eek's penis broke once already, so I have to go easy on it. But yeah, that's why did I go on a tangent about distilled water? CPAPs.
Honestly, I don't
There you
really
go.
remember
Get off this
CPAPs.
fucking topic.
All right, so anyway, I'm looking forward to blasting out my asshole for a couple days. So I'll have to get the I got my Steam Deck. I'll get that charged up. I like that my prep said. Let me read the prep checklist. 1 week, it says. Oh dang. Okay. There was one thing that said buy soft toilet paper. So I was like, oh, that's ominous. Yeah. So, yeah, here it is. One week before the test.
I've got buy soft toilet paper in my Grinder bio. And they're like, why? Because you're going to fuck me in the ass? I'm like, no, because I'm going to shit while I'm at your house, and I want the soft stuff.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to...
The real soft stuff is it like crumbles apart.
Oh, but
The
Matt,
soft and strong.
you, like me, are an enjoyer of the bidet.
Yes.
So the soft stuff is great for having a bidet because you don't really need to mechanically do much whenever
I
it's
guess
just
at
for
that point
drying.
you're just patting it dry.
We were at
so-
Costco, and they had a Toto washlet, which is like the super fancy, and it was $350. And I was like, no. He also needs an outlet. So you have to have an outlet near the
Yeah,
toilet.
because it like heats the water.
You know,
Yeah.
something that I no one ever believes me when I say this, but you don't feel cold water that much on your butthole.
And
The
also,
reason
a
you
lot of
think
times
you
it probably
would-
feel good.
Yeah,
well,
I
yes,
enjoy
but
it
that's
recreationally.
my experience with it. But the thing is, like, people are like, oh no. But the reason they think that is because all the times in their life that they've had cold water on their butthole before, they have been butthole deep in cold water. So it's already pretty fucking, a bad experience. When it's just a concentrated area on the butthole, that's not that big a deal.
Nice.
Like, it's not even enough volume of water to significantly reduce the temperature of your butthole. It's just a little bit. Like, my butthole puts out a lot of heat. That little stream of water ain't gonna counteract the fucking radiation that comes off of my butthole.
Hell yeah.
So,
Oh man, dude, radiation. I just watched. Did you, Matt? You're a Kyle Hill video watcher. Did you watch his video about radiation the other day? Well, I need
The
to be
most
more
recent
specific
one?
because there's a million. He done a million videos about radiation. No. It's the video. Okay, Lauren's got back
like
from
it's
Chili's.
basically not as bad as people make it out to be.
ask Lauren if she had chicken crispers.
Yes,
I
she
already
did.
know the answer.
She did, yes. She told me she was playing on it. So, yes, Matt, that is the video I'm speaking of. And it blew my mind because
Yeah,
I was
so
just...
I watched it,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really paying super close attention to it, so I have to like rewatch it at some point
Yeah.
to really get it.
Well, it just blew my mind
But
because...
the gist of it was basically that your body has mechanisms for repairing radiation
Yes.
damage, and like because we've been
bombarded with
having
radiation our entire
radiation damage
lives.
from the sun since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So like certain doses of radiation
Yeah. So
should be considered safe because your body will just repair it.
Correct. Yeah, so the idea is the radiation limits set by like nuclear power and all that things are set to that there is no allowable safe amount of radiation, basically, is the way it's set. It's linear, like it straight down. There's you anything above zero is bad. And basically that science does not prove that. And it blew my mind because it specifically goes through the way that radiation poisoning and radiation dosages are communicated to people are, it's over a time period X amount. So you think it's like, oh, I can get this much, millisieverts per year and I'll be fine. But it isn't cumulative at all. It's literally how much dose you get at one point in time. It is literally like if you're below 100, millisieverts, I don't remember what the number is. There's basically nothing that's going to happen to you. And not only that, research has showed that people that have low doses of radiation have lower cancer rates. And I was like, how is that possible? It's possible because radiation fucking kills cancer. That's what we use to kill cancer. So the idea is that if you have low doses of radiation, your body, it's killing cells, but your body's able to regenerate them back fast enough because your body's good at making...
John, what you're saying is we can all have a little twist to the screwdriver on the demon core of the tree.
Just a little bit.
As long as it's just a little twist.
Yes, don't let it shut.
I'm going to go for the beam straight through my brain.
Anyway. So I just thought...
lived for a really long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who got a fucking super accelerated particle of radiation blasted right through his head.
Yeah, I watched, another Kyle Hill video about that one, but it talked about how he was lucky because it was... I forget what it was. It was an electron that was shot through him or something. So it was a type of radiation that has like a stopping distance of when going through things is really long. So it went all the way through instead of sticking in his head and bouncing around. So he literally just had a pinpoint.
If it was less powerful to a certain degree, it would have been much more damaging.
Yes. Because it was so energetic, it's like a bullet that passes straight through you instead of bouncing around inside your body. It's just better.
Yeah.
To have a clean shot. So he was very lucky, but I thought that's interesting. But the thing is, we're just taught that it's terrible for you. Like any amount is terrible, but it's not true. Even so, you'd have low doses for your entire life. I guess there's a city in Iran that has like insanely high background radiation just due to the fact that it's on a mountain where there's fucking uranium everywhere, and those people have lower cancer rates than other parts of the country. It's just it's not like So the idea is that nuclear scientists are like, nobody wants to talk about this because it's such a scary subject that nobody wants to bring up. But the thing is, like, nuclear power is being limited by these ridiculously stringent requirements that don't have any scientific basis. And like he's like talking to like scientists off the record because they don't want to go on the record and talk about it because it's like
the science checks out, but it's still like a career ender to talk about
public
it
perception
which
is
crazy.
so rancid that it's like that because of the high profile negative events. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. It's a really cool video. I'll link it in the Bytecast discussion. I think I've ranted about him before because I didn't like one of his videos, but like this was one of like the majority of his videos I like. Some of them are a little clickbaity. This one is not. Is very like interesting and like going into the science behind it and like I just blew my mind because I was like, because it's so dumb. I just had that moment sitting where I was just like, but it has to be bad for you, right? Because it's bad for you. It's like, but we use it to kill cancer.
It's Fallout. Your rad meter just keeps ticking up over time until you're dead.
Yeah, we evolved.
So you don't have any like
as single cell
left.
organisms with zero atmosphere, being bombarded by the worst radiation imaginable. So down into a cellular level, we're built to withstand some radiation damage. Anyway, so interesting. I thought it was really cool to learn that. And I think, well,
so
we're
all get nuked.
Well, we're gonna need nuclear power. That's gonna have to be a thing because of all of the AI data centers. It's really the only way. And then they'll all crash, and then we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
I just want that part to happen.
Was it Microsoft that's like trying to get a decommissioned nuke plant reopened?
Yes. It's just funny.
Yeah, I think Microsoft also has like got preliminary approval for something like a 15 gigawatt data center, which is more than some countries use in a year of electricity.
That's insane.
Yeah, and what drives me nuts, and I'll never.
They could throw that money around just because they are afraid they'll get left behind, or like they could get left behind. It's not even a certain thing.
Yeah, the thing that drives me nuts,
it's so crazy.
is like they're spending all this money because they're like, oh shit, this is the internet. But when the internet happened, people chased after it like pets.com style because it was very obvious that it provided a new thing. Here is immediate access to information that can be updated, and you can deploy it in people's houses.
It's like imagine a newspaper ad that, or like a newspaper classified ad that you can get in everyone's house and update instantly.
Yeah, it turns out this was a bad idea, but like it did provide, whether or not it's bad, a new thing that couldn't have been done before. And it was obvious that was okay. We have, widened the scope of things that you can do with technology for people.
Yeah.
And this thing they've spent $1 gazillion on, and it can't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Like
no, it can make really
shitty
paintings.
It can make shitty videos on Slocktop, on Sora 2 Slock Talk, whatever it's called.
Slop Talk.
And
they're just
I can already make a shitty video. I can make a million shitty videos.
Yeah.
Like anybody can. It's not widening shit.
Somebody posted
they just keep adding different kinds of models and slamming them together and just duct taping more and more stuff onto it in the hopes that, like, if they do that enough, like at some point it'll
When
reach
they
a critical mass
invented the
where
internet,
it magically
here's the
makes
thing.
intelligence, but like it won't. It just can't.
When we got the internet, I could go onto the internet and buy a copy of Grease 2 on VHS. And I couldn't do that before. And every time I did it, I would get a VHS of Grease 2. Every single time. I could count on spending money for Grease 2 on VHS, and then Jeff Bezos put that in a fucking box, and he sent it to me. That could happen in 1999, 100% chance. And this shit is just like, I don't know, it might fucking be wrong all the time. We can't fix that.
Look, 80% of the time you're getting Grease 2. That's good enough.
Yeah, it's like, no, I want Grease 2 on VHS every fucking time. And then you're like, well, we can't do that. So this is obviously a fucking useless it's a toy, useless ass toy.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's useless by how the only thing anybody ever makes with it is like fucking now you can ask your chat GPT girlfriend for feet pics. It's like, yeah, obviously this is fucking useless then. If the only thing you could think of it is like getting feet pics from your chat GPT girlfriend,
I just can't.
Then we have hit the point at which it's just for weird porn now.
Yeah.
Which there was no dearth of weird porn prior to that.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, I could watch all the gigantic woman videos that I wanted. Remember
I
those?
don't need Sora 2 to make a video of if a woman got enormous and stepped on me. The furries have had that covered for decades.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I could play Resident Evil Village and Lady Dimitrescu could destroy me. I have so many options.
You can even put some mods on that game and,
Yeah, there's
get whatever you want.
People are handcrafting you content if you want an enormous woman to step on and kill you. They've been doing it for decades, and it's high quality, bespoke, artisanal stuff. You don't need this for that content. It's gonna be worse. I mean, the quantity is gonna be much more, but it's gonna be worse. And like, let's be real here. You can only get stepped on and destroyed by one woman one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, you can only have that fantasy one time, and like, you gotta have what's it called when you come and you can't do it, the refractory period.
Refractory period. Yeah.
Yeah. You. I'm telling you, the promise of infinite enormous woman stepping on and killing you porn, you do not have the stamina to even make that worth it. You're better off sticking with the homegrown. What was the quote from? I think you should leave the homegrown Simpson stuff. Red Tube, XXN. I know these names better than I know the names of my own children. Well, yeah.
It's just the most insane shit to me is the most insane shit. I mean, like, whatever company's going to come to, but OpenAI is fucking sane. So Microsoft just did their quarterly earnings for the third quarter of 2025. OpenAI lost, like, had revenue loss, like operating revenue loss. They make money, but in total, this is how much they lost. $11.5 billion in one quarter. Like, they are burning through money. Like, because Silicon Valley, it's all like, you're investing, fake it till you make it, like investing, because it's going to be the next Facebook that'll be worth so much money. So, it doesn't matter if we're burning money now because it's going to be worth trillions of dollars in the future, so it's just the cost of that. They're not going to get there. That company is gone. No. That is not going to be the one that makes it. The company that's going to make it is going to be Google or Microsoft. It is not going to be a startup.
These companies are so horny to get rid of the idea of workers that they're spending like ridiculous amounts of money that could just be spent
paying workers,
improving the conditions of your workers. Like,
well, it's also
all going to be for nothing.
Yeah, and it's also insane too because there's a lot of economists that are talking about maybe we'll be super prescient with this, but that there's they call it AI washing of layoffs. So basically, companies are not financially doing well, so they're saying they're laying off employees and replacing them with AI because that's like sounds like a smart business tactic.
But what they're really
doing is they
the
don't
remaining people do more work.
Exactly, because it's just regular layoffs. Okay. It doesn't sound as bad to investors.
Same shit, different cover.
Exactly. And that I totally agree that that's happening. But I mean, OpenAI lost $40 billion last year. I mean, Microsoft bought all of Activision for $70 billion. OpenAI has lost that in a year and a half and didn't get an Activision. All they got was they boast they have 800 million users. They don't boast that they have 20 million paying subscribers, which is why they're still in the inshitification loop of it's free. So get people hooked on it and then make them pay for it. They're never, ever, ever going to be able to make a profit because the compute costs so much for them to do this.
So like,
and it's not even that they're using GPUs and chips that are like 7 years old at this point because they don't have the money to buy the new shit that costs $1 bazillion from NVIDIA. Like, they are so fucked. They're so far behind. That company is so... This is the reason why half their board fucking left like 2 years ago. Because they're like, this is literally going to crash. Let's get out.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Like, mark my words. OpenAI is going to blow up. And nothing's going to happen because Microsoft and Meta and Google are all way ahead of them. Money-wise.
There's a part of me, and it's because I'm prejudiced against allosexual people, you fucking creeps. But there's a part of me that thinks that one of the reason why they're pivoting so hard to AI girlfriends and stuff is so that whenever they do hit the enshittification milestone of, well, now you have to pay for it, it's basically going to be a whole bunch of weird nerds like, well, I have to pay now because I have a girlfriend. She's my AI girlfriend, and I won't get feet pics anymore if I don't have an ongoing subscription. And I don't think the population of people who are in that specific boat, a disgusting and filthy boat, I might add, that I don't want anything to do with, but that's not going to be enough to sustain all of OpenAI. So, like, if they're pivoting to that just because they need every fucking crumb they can get to eventually someday convince someone that they're profitable, they are so beyond fucked.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, it
like,
blew up a little bit
of
this
that
week. Go ahead.
Is YouTube, right? Like, Google has obviously won online video with YouTube.
Yes.
They don't have porn on it,
no.
right? So, like, if you're pivoting to that, you're like damage control.
Got to give Grok credit for being ahead of the curve on that though, because they were like, you want AI girlfriend, you pay us like $50 a month or whatever insane amount it is. Because they're like, yeah, of course. Like, dude, it is the dumbest shit, and it is never going to be as good as what they say it is. And then you have the truthers talking about AGI. And that is actually what the real goal is, because whoever gets that first is going to rule everything, because that and here's my thoughts on AGI. Maybe it is something that will exist in the future. I think it's cold fusion to me. It is a thing that's going to be 10 years away for the next 50 years. Yeah. And it is because it's just like the principle of like Moore's law of like, or not Moore's law, it's the inverse of that or whatever. It's just that, what's the law where it's like you can only ever get like 80% is good, and then each percent after that costs way and way more. It's just never going to get to that 100% because it's just going to cost too much. Unless we create some sort of insane quantum computer that works, that can vastly change that. But I think the tech is right now nowhere near enough to do anything
and
like
we're
that.
not even going in the right direction. It's a phrase that I think of a lot when I think about AI now is you'll never get to the moon by climbing successively taller and taller trees. Like, that's what I mean when I say they're just like trying to train better models and staple different models together in the hopes that like if you add enough crap onto it, then somehow it'll magically become AGI. And that's just... It's never going to happen. Well, that's just not how it's going to work.
That's the difference. I mean, this is why I'm calling out OpenAI specifically, because OpenAI is an LLM company, and they will never, because the stuff that you're talking about, Matt, the building a rocket to go to the moon, Google, Microsoft, and probably government of China are doing that type of work, and that's probably decades away, but OpenAI is not doing it. They're just grifting. They're just saying, Sam Altman will say, we're 2 years away from AGI because that makes the stock go up. That's why he says that, not because it's true. He's just lying. And what I'm saying is that the bubble is going to burst. We are going to have a terrible recession, and it is going to happen. And it's going to
gonna
happen
be a
as
weird
soon as the
burst,
next
though.
Democrat gets elected president.
Yeah.
2020.
It's gonna be a weird burst because the companies that are so invested in
Yeah.
this, like, I always bring up Pets.com because that was the most recent it's gonna be different in 2008. 2008 was an old
2008 was a
industry doing old money shit
foundational
and fucking the
problem
economy.
with the financial industry.
Yeah, this is a shake up
Market
that
speculation.
didn't exist before. It isn't an old money problem.
Yeah.
And the thing that makes it different even than the dot-com bubble is like the people who got rich in the dot-com bubble and when it burst, they obviously had nothing, but it wasn't Bill Gates doing it. It wasn't Steve Jobs. It wasn't Warren Buffett doing it. It was shitty little future Bitcoin bros hodling on pets.com and then selling it before the bubble bursts and stuff like that. And then whenever the dot-com bubble did burst, well, the internet was still around, and all the people who do normal business, like PayPal, was around, and they're just normal. Like, it didn't hurt them at all. It just hurt the weird speculative market, and that's all that it really did. Which did hurt, the technology sector because so much of it was being subsidized. But anyway, the thing now is that Google is doing this, and Microsoft is doing this, and Apple is doing this. Like all of the biggest companies with infinite money are doing this. So when it bursts, it's not going to burst suddenly the way that Pets.com did, or even the way that the 2008 financial crisis did, because the amount, like, we talk about the banks that are too big to fail. I'm pretty sure that Apple could just buy all the banks and be like, well, now I own the banks. Microsoft could just be like, no, I own all the banks. Fuck off. And because they just have more money, and maybe not than banks just because of how much fucking debt banks control. But like in terms of agency over their money, because like banks, it's all tied up in a zillion kajillion different things. Agency over their money, they have way more agency over their money than banks do. And that means that, like, because of that, they can keep the fucking thing propped up for a very long time. So when it bursts, it's going to be more like a deflation than anything else of the bubble, than a pop, I guess, to use that metaphor. And I don't know what that's going to look like because it's never happened before.
Yeah, I mean, what's really interesting too is you talk about big companies like an Apple or whatnot, but like one of the best examples of why AI is not there is Apple's not doing it, because Apple's the company that does stuff when it's good and ready.
Yeah, they are the safest player in the game, right? Like, the thing is like, oh no, they'll get a feature that Android had 5 years ago, and it's like, because they've waited to make sure everyone likes it, and there are no bugs left in it to even take a chance on it.
They put out polished, finished, good products. So the funny thing about that is that the new rumor scuttlebutt is that Apple Intelligence is going to be just buying Google's AI algorithm. They're not going to make their own, which leads me to believe that it's shit. That if Apple isn't going to spend their own amazing engineers on working on something, they're just going to buy Google's, like, access to Google stuff because it's not worth them spending the money on it. Makes me think there's no future. Like, if Apple's like, it's not worth it. It's like when Apple was like looking into doing like driverless cars and things, and they're like, nah. Because it's not going to work. And where are we now? 5 years later. Exactly.
There is some robo-taxis in some municipalities in California, and they get confused and honk at each other in parking lots eternally and shit like that.
They work okay. Probably not as good as a regular driver.
The thing that made me never want a robo-taxi, by the way, was this story about, like, a woman who got into a robo-taxi, and then, like, some men obviously noticed she was alone in a robo-taxi, so they just stood in front of it, and it was like, pedestrian in the way. And then it's like, okay, now these men can just fucking do whatever they want to this woman. Like, she's trapped in a cell where these men can, like, get their dicks out and jack off in front of her or whatever. And like that's a fucking nightmare. Like just to think that now you're trapped in this box and it doesn't have a driver, so it's not going to get you out of a dangerous situation at all. It's just going to pause and let you be in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
And fuck that. That idea is dead to me after reading that story.
No, I mean, it's one of those things that I'm sure eventually will happen. But again, where the tech is so far off, it's because the stock market now is just 100% speculative. Because everyone's like, well, if we buy the company that eventually figures it out, then we're going to make bazillions of dollars, which is true. But it's just gambling. We're 10 years away. We're probably more than 10 years away from driverless cars being a reality.
Yeah.
Because the Tesla full self-driving, it works okay. But okay isn't good enough.
About that.
Like for driving.
When and if it really becomes a thing, it's not going to be totally vision based. It's going to have lidar and other sensors and shit.
It'll probably even be cars talking to each other.
So many of these the Teslas have been sold with the promise that it'll be available to them with just a software update, and Tesla was all in on it's all going to be vision based.
Yep.
So they're just
vision and
they
radar,
can't admit that that's just never going to happen.
Honestly,
and it
when
is
I
never
think
going to
of
happen. So
full self-driving and how it would have to work, I
I
really
mean,
do think
it's cool. I mean, if you've ever been in a Tesla that has full self-driving, it's really neat. It works, but it's also like, but you need it to work 100% of the time in every situation.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that, like, to me, in order to get some, like, as a software engineer who has to, like, who cannot deploy something for, a state institution where it's just like, I don't know, it'll fucking work sometimes, and that's not an option in the public sector for me. So when I think about a problem like that, I'm like, okay, so what you need to do is you basically need to adapt the road system to accommodate these cars. So how would you do that? Okay, well, if you just add another lane, people who aren't in self-driving cars are going to fucking drive in that lane. So you do like we do with bikes. Not that bikes are a very good situation here because paint doesn't protect people from getting run over by a car. But if you're in a car, well, that is different. So you make a car that's a robo-taxi, you make it thinner than a regular car, and you make a lane for it where it can talk to those cars that is thinner so that you can't drive a fucking SUV on it. So then if people try to drive in it, well, they can't even pass people in that lane anyway, so there's no reason to be in that lane. So that's step one. And then as I think through all this, I'm like, oh, we could just make trams. If we're already fucking doing that to the roads, just make trams.
We should embed something in the road that will guide it.
Yeah.
Like it's like some sort of track or something.
Yeah. What if?
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I get to. I start solving the problem by because there's two ways to solve problems. There's the private sector way and the public sector way. And this isn't actually true because the public sector is also fucked. But that's how my brain works because when I had private sector jobs, I had to put it into a different mode. And the private sector way is get what we got and then just keep fucking grinding at what we got until we fool enough people to buy the product. And the public sector way is the product ain't ever going to fucking get improved. We have to fix everything around the product. And so that's why when I think through a problem, like compared to a Tesla engineer, they're like, all right, so we got to just have it sift through bazillions more hours of data and video. And me, I'm like, fuck that. Build a tram that, well, okay, so now there's no more gas. It's electrified. Now it's scheduled, so you don't need an app so that you can hail one or whatever. You just wait at where one shows up and then get the fuck on it. And it's like, okay, but what if people want one immediately? More trams. Add more trams to the system. Because the thing about a tram is you can have as many as you fucking want on a track because they're the only things that use that track. Therefore, they can just fucking stay on that track forever. Also, they can go over roads where only they can go. You can make a tram bridge that goes over an intersection where they wouldn't have to stop, and a robo-taxi would have to stop, where a car couldn't go up it because it would basically be on like a roller coaster thing. Like you couldn't drive up that. It would be what looks like a roller coaster ramp. Like you could do all these things, and it's like, bam, problem motherfucking solved. And they're like, yeah, but we can't sell that idea. That's a tax money and a thing like that. We can't fucking sell. People hate taxes, but they're fine with their tax money going to subsidize dumbass companies that'll never fucking make anything.
It's America for you. We do.
I wish we had rail infrastructure.
I mean, like Europe has trains and shit, but like that's because the train tracks already existed because of when trains happened and Europe already had roads. America's fucked.
I'm sure we're just a few years away from Silicon Valley inventing trains, like they invented buses with Uber Pool, and all the invented taxis with Uber. You know, I'm sure they're going to be like,
no, John, we're not going to do trains. We're going to do Hyperloop.
Yes, where it's cars and a tube,
miles long tubes that have to be maintained vacuum somehow over these crazy distances.
That company, I'm convinced that company only exists to draw state funding away from any project that could actually fucking work.
Yeah.
So that trains never happen, and so that robo taxis are more lucrative. Like I'm convinced the Boring Company only exists for that reason.
It's actually pretty incredible too. Like thinking about like Amtrak, and it's just like slowly growing. Because people are just using trains more and more. It's just like it's almost like it's the natural thing that people just enjoy.
And Amtrak is supposed to have priority on our railroads, and freight carriers just ignore that, and nobody punishes them because nobody actually cares. It's so stupid.
It's
well that hey, my Amazon Prime next day order is on that freight train, so. Fuck the people
I need to get my
going from place to place.
I need to get my what's a frivolous purchase from Amazon that would require holding up a train. I need to get my...
I don't know, but it's definitely going to come via drone delivery, right, guys?
Yes.
Right? Because that makes sense.
Remember that?
Yeah. So the future sucks. The world sucks. Whatever. I do appreciate reading articles about how countries in Africa are now like pivoting to solar immediately.
Yep.
They're like just buying solar power. It's like, oh shit. Like they learned the infinite money glitch of just putting out solar because it's free electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because the technology is like
I know.
decreased in
it's
price
going to only increase.
Yeah.
Like solar is
the thing
is
about
huge.
solar that's incredible, that's absolutely amazing, is that I've heard people bring up like, and I don't think that they're smart people that bring this up. They might be misinformed or they might be purposely stupid, like my father. But like the people bring up, oh, those batteries, the cost money to dispose those batteries, and I'm like, all of the lithium that would be in those batteries is still in the fucking battery.
Yeah, it's not like it disappears.
You have mined the lithium already. It's there now. Like, yes, you have to remake the battery, but you don't have to mine more lithium.
Correct.
The lithium's in the battery still.
Yes. You can recycle
Just get it out of the
batteries.
old battery, reprocess it, make a new one. No mining involved.
Yeah.
Whereas with gasoline, you burnt it.
Yeah.
It's in the fucking atmosphere forever. You have to get more out of the ground
well,
now.
not forever. You know, in millions of years we could use
it. As long as humans are around.
On
the heat death of the universe will come along someday. I'm just talking about for our species.
Fair enough. So I'm appreciating it. One thing I really read interesting that was about, they call it like porch solar. And it's huge in Europe, I guess, and like Germany and stuff, where people will have apartments and then they'll just put a big solar panel out on their balcony and just have that hooked into there. And I guess it's a thing that doesn't work in the US because our electricity system sucks compared to Europe. Partially it's not our fault because we're America. It's our fault. We invented it. So we have an old grid. And the way it's set up, I guess, in Europe is that you can literally just plug a solar generator machine thing just into an outlet and it backfeeds your house without any problems. Whereas in the US, your houses aren't set up that way. Your grid isn't set up that way to like properly manage that power. I think that there will be a future for that in the US because it's just such a simple thing. It's like you pay like $1,000 to install a solar thing and then it's going to save you $20 a month on your power bill. People are going to do that. It would be stupid not to. You know, it's just the future is there, man. God, when well, I don't know if we'll continue to own this house like when we need to replace the roof, but I replace the roof, we're putting solar panels on it. I mean, Jesus, that's free power, man. And you got power outage,
one of the main things that like
no problem.
Solar. One of the main things that solar like needs is also energy storage, and that's kind of where I think we're lagging behind because like you think about
because
like,
the U.S. grid
home
has so little battery like capacity. You know what I mean? I said our grid has so little battery capacity.
Yeah, it's so little battery capacity.
It is built for on-demand power only.
It is
batteries aren't even necessarily the best way to store grid power. Like places will do the hydraulic pumping thing and store it in a big reservoir.
So like in like our electrical grid system, if power goes out, it is not safe to feed any solar energy from your house back into the grid.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the same way everywhere.
Yeah.
So like people are like, oh, I've got solar, I'm safe in a power outage. Like, no, you're fucking not, because you're gonna be feeding. Like if you don't have power, that means the grid is fucked up somewhere. So if you feed power back into the grid and someone's trying to fix a line, you just killed whoever the fuck that is that's trying to fix that line. So obviously that's not like when you hook it into the grid, that isn't part of it. Only a functioning grid can be backfed into, which is safe and good. But like the idea of storage is there are so many things in our houses which could just have a huge battery in them and store energy all the time, rather than needing a separate "this is my whole home" battery. Like
this is a thing. There are electric stoves you can get that just have a massive battery.
Nice.
And in the event of an outage, it can be just like a huge backup battery for your house.
Yeah.
I mean, stoves, refrigerator, like all these large appliances that we have, you could fit like the equivalent of like 2 or 3 big ass lead acid batteries on them, except for obviously they'd be probably lithium ion batteries, or lithium polymer batteries.
Yeah, get those lipos.
You can get those, and it's already a big ass appliance that you're not moving around. So who cares if it's a little bit heavier? Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. So like if your fridge and your stove and your washing machine, and probably not a dryer because that would just draw too much, but your washing machine, that doesn't draw that much to spin around, so, and it again doesn't move very much, so you could have a big ass battery in that. So you could have batteries in tons of appliances, and if you did that, if your solar was still charging those batteries but not feeding back to the grid, you could still be taking advantage of the money your house is generating, or the electricity your house is generating, without it necessarily being to reduce your energy bill by backfeeding to the grid. Like it'd be directly helping you out. And like I can't remember where I saw, if I saw a video or I read something about it, but it's like the idea that your F-150 Lightning is going to be your entire battery backup for your house and you don't need to do any more work after that is putting all your eggs in one basket, and also requires you to buy an F-150 Lightning, which costs a fuckload of money. But like if you got a new oven, and honestly I am 100% convinced I could build a conversion kit to make my oven into a battery backed up oven, because there's that drawer underneath it, and I don't have anything in there I couldn't put in some other cabinet. It just happens to be where I throw my fucking muffin pans. I could just turn that into a place with a big ass fucking battery and it'd be fine. I could, and I have the infrared ceramic top, so I could probably cook several meals off of a fully charged battery system in that.
I think the reason why the rooftop solar works in Europe is I think it's just the way that the houses are hooked up there. They have that backfeed protection built in.
The point of entry.
Yeah, I think it's because the U.S. is the way our houses are connected to the grid is not the same way Europe is. So where it's just easy to backfeed power because it has the smart metering stuff built in, whereas houses in the U.S. just don't. And no one will ever do it because the electric companies aren't going to spend money on retrofitting stuff. You have to spend that money, So it isn't as easy as just buying a panel. You'd have to fix your box and everything up.
Well, basically every bit of infrastructure between the point of generation and your house,
Yeah.
for everybody who has a house hooked up to the grid, would have to be compatible with a system like that.
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
where, so like, even if it was just a thing you add to the panel, you'd
Yeah.
have to design a new panel that works with that system, and then you have to make sure everybody had one of those.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Or
just
else it would fuck up the whole system.
yeah. But there are definitely systems that do work that you can buy and to do porch solar here in the U.S. or balcony solar, but it's more complicated because you need to have the battery backup thing that has a smart feed that's connected to the plug, so it knows how much that it can put in or take out. Smart.
I've seen people do things with like for example, porch solar, where it's like, and of course this isn't for an apartment, so it would be, they would have control, they'd be able to knock a hole in the wall and be able to actually do stuff to their house. But things were like, you can have an outlet, and that one outlet feeds off of an inverter hooked up to a battery that charges from your solar. So anything plugged into that one outlet is only getting solar power from that inverter. And you know, that could be like a lamp, or that could be a ceiling fan, or you know, something that runs all the time that the battery's enough for, that just, well, now you don't have that on your electricity, and it's not really hurting anything for it to be off. Like if the battery runs dead, it's not like your fridge is hooked up to it. It's like, you know, if your ceiling fan goes off, well, you're gonna be a little bit less comfortable. But like, who fucking, you know, it's not a make or break situation that the ceiling fan is off. So that kind of stuff. I've seen people do stuff like that. I thought about building my own battery backup for my server stuff. I quit designing that because they just sell, you could just buy that, and it was always cheaper, and like then I wouldn't have to build it and make sure it worked. So I just bought one. But I was designing one for a while where I was using like marine batteries and automatic power switchers and things like that. And I was like, oh man, I can do this for like $250. It's like, how much does this cost as a product I can buy from APC? $250. So it's like, well, just gonna fucking buy that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing though about those battery backups though is that, like, yes, the battery is a certain form factor, and you are kind of on one hand relying on that ever, like, you know, continuing to be made and offered. But the way that mine at least connects is just two little, you know, it's a positive and a negative terminal that just hang out that you attach to the battery and shove in. It's like, you could, any battery of that same voltage, you could just fucking shove that up in there too, because I'm pretty sure that they are sealed lead acid batteries that they run off of. I don't think that they are LiPo batteries.
Yeah.
So you know, the thing about them is that they are deep cycle batteries, and they're made specifically for that purpose. And most lead acid batteries for cars are not made for that. But the closest you get is marine batteries or bespoke electronics lead acid batteries. So it's like, I know enough that I could run a little wire from that old bitch to something I got at Menards, and it would run. So like, I'm not worried about that being like an obsoleted device at some point because of the battery isn't sold in that form factor unless I buy the newest version. No, I'll fuck it up myself. I will make some ungodly monstrosity to continue using this thing and never spend another cent on another.
That is the dream of owning things, is being able to just continue to use them and work on them and maintain them without
You have no idea how much it brings me joy whenever because I always open up stuff that I buy if I buy a new electronic thing. Like I have on my house, I bought a house numbers solar powered lighted house numbers thing.
Yep.
And as soon as I got it opened up, because I was like, all right, what do we got going on here?
Yeah.
It is a cheap ass solar panel, flexi panel adhesive to the top, and it just goes directly down to a tiny little, I forget that it's a Texas Instrument surface mount chip that costs $1.50, which goes directly into a 18650 lithium battery, which you can get on Amazon for peanuts. and I have several of already. So I'm like, okay, so this has given me, I know the component that it's built with, I know the voltage and the type of battery that it's built with. I could have that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, just replace parts.
I have the ability to maintain that $10, whatever it was, $20 house numbers thing into perpetuity. I will never have to buy another one of those. So that kind of shit gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
I opened up a Microsoft Surface tablet, not the one well, I've opened up both of mine, but like the one that I fucking broke. And the way that it connects to the battery is by like curved copper tension things that when it's sandwiched into the back of the case, it has ribbon cables built into the case. That shit, nah, I don't like when I see that stuff. I'm like, I can't fix this. If this breaks, we are fucked.
That's one reason why I like business class laptops and stuff like Lenovo ThinkPads and whatnot, because they all use really standard connectors that are really easy to fix.
Yeah. I have a device that I bought, by the way, that I will share, that I'm fixing. But I have a Sony Walkman.
Cassette player.
Sweet.
A good one.
This is a pretty good one. This is the model number is WMAF67. And I went online to find some good model numbers, and then I went on to eBay and just searched for some broken ones to see if I could fix it. And I think this cost me $20. But it's a pretty well. I mean, it's all fucking took apart right now. But the two problems that this had that I saw, and is that when I put batteries in it, I had it play, it barely fucking did anything. It went So I'm like, okay, capacitors are bad. And the nice thing is that they're just all little surface. Like I don't have to do with those tiny ass little shitty ceramic ones. They're just regular old capacitors, and I've got a whole box of those, so I can probably just fix that right away. And the other thing that was wrong with it is that it wasn't spinning, and that's because the belt had turned to goop. It was
that old rubber just turns into like glue.
Essentially. And the nice thing about some of those belts, some of them are finicky. I wouldn't do this for a like turntable, something that needs to be like very
tuned,
very correct. That doesn't have any like flutter adjustment or like auto anything like that. But like things like VCRs, stuff like that would be fine. Is you can actually print belts and TPU and test them. And I probably wouldn't leave them on there forever, but they are good enough so that you can get the size correct. And that's important because I ended up just going on. There's a Canadian website I found that just sells belts, and they've tested them on things, and they've listed the things they've tested them on. And it's an old Web 2.0 website from 2001, and I'm like, hell yeah, this person's gonna get my money. And I just put it.
I may have bought a belt from that same website. For an old reel-to-reel player I have.
But I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get that. But if you know the size, because they make belt reference the Vine there. They make belt like multi-packs that they sell on Amazon for like $4.
Yeah.
And they have like 100 of them in there, but like you don't really know if the ones they have are going to work for you. But if you have a TPU filament for a 3D printer and a direct drive extruder, well, you could just print one of the size you think might work. And put it on as a test, and then see if it operates. And if it does, then you can be pretty sure. So I am going to probably order TPU for the first time and give it a shot printing that, which is something I've wanted to do, but I have no fucking reason to do it. So I've just not ever bought any.
TPU's fun.
But I do have things where like the belts are fucked up, and I'm like, oh, that'd be a fun way to test out what kind of belts I need.
Speaking of cool printing, I know Prusa just had their like event announcing their like new printer stuff, and they're making a large Core 1 that is sadly not buildable. It comes only in fully built, but I mean it's open source, so you can buy parts and repair it, but they're not selling a kit, at least not yet. But I wouldn't get it anyway because I would want I'm waiting for the multi-tool head Core 1 stuff to come out. that they're working on. But the other big thing that they announced is the doom of Fleshlight is they are working with a company to have silicone printing. So you're able to print silicone gel. It's actually incredible, the technology. So
Wait.
it's a filament tube.
How?
It's
Silicone's usually like a 2-part
correct.
thing.
It is 2 filaments. This works on the XL. So there's 2 filaments that go in. It's not even the XL. I think it was on the Core 1. But they had 2 filaments that are in that are hollow tubes filled with the like 2-part liquid, and then it goes into a nozzle where it mixes in the nozzle and then extrudes out, and you can print like gaskets.
Crazy.
It looks so cool. You should look it up. It's amazing. But they're like talking about how it's going to be a bolt-on attachment to tool heads, so you'll be able to print silicone. So that even better than TPU.
Do people not fuck the TPU, or is that too?
I'm sure you could fuck the TPU. There's some pretty non-rigid TPUs, but I'm just saying silicone is like that. That's what it is.
See, TPU I don't think would stand up to much friction. Is the problem?
Yeah.
Well,
Silicone
yeah, that's
is built
probably the
for it.
thing, is that in order to get it the fuckable texture, it'd have to be like infill at 15% or whatever, and then you destroy it with your penis.
Having seen some of the posts Matt has put the 3D printing community, I guarantee you someone has designed fuckable TPU stuff.
Somebody has resin printed a genitalia and then had a TPU insert for the genitals.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
I've seen people design custom ends for like those percussive massage guns. Just a ring for a cylinder that cannot be harmed.
I see. Anyway,
Yeah,
so I just thought
somebody's
silicone.
doing it.
I would never. I would now. I understand I'm an asexual person and I don't have the same carnal desires as people, but I would never buy something called a percussive massage gun and then put a thing on that I printed and then give that to my penis. That would. I'm sorry, but I
was
going
to defend it. Like, they're great for your shoulder, or for my shoulder.
No. I understand that. I see all the time
Yeah.
the football men getting their calves percussive massaged. That I believe in, but
silicone
there's
printing.
you couldn't pay me. You couldn't give me a sensation I've never had before good enough to fucking shoot my dick with a percussive massage gun that I printed an end for.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but those people just need to lower their standards and find an uglier person to fuck. Like
that's like how Darwin Awards get like won.
Yeah. My favorite Darwin Award, penis related, is the guy who got his dick cut off and it was surgically reattached and it worked, was then self-conscious about it, so tried to get a dick enlargement, and because that wasn't successful, he now also has no dick again.
Jesus.
But at that time, it's his fault that he has no dick.
God.
My favorite Darwin Award is the guy who tried to wash his testicles in a golf ball washer.
Oh no! Have you seen how those work?
Yeah.
That's not how your balls are supposed to go.
I think he was one of the first ones that was like, well, he's not dead, but technically he did remove himself from the gene pool. So this silicone printing tool head is $1,000.
It is $1,000.
Oh, wow.
But I
That
mean,
is
like
crazy.
the technology in it is insane because it's like mixing and extruding liquid.
And like, is the so there's a core of
the
it's
it's cutting the tube.
Is the outside like plastic?
Yes, and it's being put into a waste thing. Yeah. Sorry, what? Matt? Yes, the outer sheath is cut and then it's put into like a waste container, basically.
Oh.
It's just there to deliver through the normal like tubing filament, basically.
Interesting.
It's so that you can just set it up on a regular printer. I think if you built a ground up silicone printer, you would just have like canisters of goop that you would like, inject into it.
Like
but
Smooth On does make a machine you can get that will automatically combine 2 parts and then just like spit out
Yep.
The mix-up thing.
Exactly. But
So
I
it's
think
kind of a hop, skip, and a jump to the next level of just squeezing it onto a print bed.
Yeah, the idea with this is that they built it so you can just put it on any Prusa printer and then put the roll into any filament roll and then just print silicone.
Like the timing for like layers, like
yeah.
making
I don't
sure
know
it's
how it
solidified
works.
enough. And that's affected by like temperature and humidity.
Yeah,
And
it
stuff
seems like
too.
magic to me. But anyway,
That's
yeah.
insane.
Speaking of insane, what
You
do
know, before you move on, you can also just print something and then make a mold of it.
Shh, quiet.
That is also a thing
You
you
can
can
just
do.
print it
Yeah,
mold.
this is
and
one of
then-
those. This is one of those. Here's my perfect 28-hour print time hinge I've designed that they sell at the hardware store for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Yeah.
Or like people 3D printing shit that they should have just made out of wood.
Like
like
gutters.
why?
Yeah, the bed
Not wood,
frame
but-
that you brought up.
Yeah, so it made it 3D
It's
printed
like,
a bed
the
frame.
hardware store will sell you enough wood to build a bed frame for like $50, and it will last your entire life.
Yeah. Yeah, people are stupid. I saw a post on the 3D printing circle jerk subreddit, which is like my favorite subreddit now because it's just posting like people posting stupid shit about 3D printing, and someone's 3D printing a Majora's Mask, like mask on their 3D printer on their Bamboo like X1C, and they're like, it's got 3,000 color changes and it's taking 4 days to print. Hope it works. I hope it fits me. I haven't test printed it. And it's like, that is 4 rolls of filament. So that is like probably like $80 that you're spending on this fucking plastic mask that you don't even know is going to fit you. What are people doing?
You could have
Just
also
design it so the parts can
Or just print it in
separately
one color and
different-
fucking paint it for
Or
fuck's
paint it.
sake.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Here's the thing:
You're
is
gonna,
that like
if you're doing cosplay shit, you're never going to do it in multicolor. Why would you do it in multicolor? Because you're going to have layer lines. Because the only way to make things good is to sand them, to fill them with filler primer, and then paint them so they look good. You're
Yeah.
it's just insane because that's just the type of people that exist now in 3D printing because it's gotten so cheap. I'm gatekeeping now, like the people on the internet, but like people should. I firmly believe that everyone should have an Ender 3 as their first printer and learn how to print. It's like you need to learn how to drive manual before you can get the nice, fancy car, because you're learning
Yeah.
things that are important to know. Like, let's prototype print first before I print the expensive one. Jesus.
Yeah. I
Oh.
have a Majora's Mask painting that I did
I see
in
it
high
back
school
there.
behind me, up there in the
Yeah.
corner.
They're printing that
Um,
mask, yes.
And just looking at it, like there are so many gradients.
Yeah.
Because it is designed to be a wooden mask that
Mhm.
was hand painted that's possessed by evil.
Mhm.
You won't make a real looking Majora's Mask with with filament changes.
Yes.
So print it in the cheapest Overture white
Yep.
PLA or PETG,
Yep.
depending on how crazy
You'll have to
you
be
want to get
PLA.
with this.
Or if you're getting real
You can't really
fancy,
paint
some
PETG.
wood-filled filament.
Yeah, wood-filled film.
You can prime PETG.
Yeah,
though.
it's
They
just
make automotive
PLA is
prime
the way to go for prop stuff because it's
Yeah.
just easier.
Or screw the 3D printer and just use EVA foam.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also true.
Yeah.
Just carve it out
Yeah.
of foam like
Yeah.
like people used
Yeah.
to do. Yeah,
Like-
anyway.
It's also not a hard design. Like I was able to paint that as a kid. It is a heart shape with it
Some
looks like
spikes.
10 triangles coming off of it.
Yeah.
And it is a convex heart shape with 10 triangles that you have to make. I'm sure that you could make that
Yeah.
out of foam.
It's just mostly
Uh,
like that subreddit's fun because it's just mostly just people that are fucking clueless and like, what is all this shit on my print? It's like, yeah, it's the supports that you added. Did you even look at it before you sent it to the printer? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Not to be the RTFM guy, but like for a 3D printer, you really should have read the manual before you started trying to print stuff with it.
Yeah, my favorite one was on.
Yeah.
I think I posted to that subreddit, but somebody on Facebook was like Flash Forge, whatever printer, the new multicolor printer that they put out, I'm like, what's all this little squiggles behind my printer? And it's like, that's the fucking filament that cutter that it's shooting that filament out because you're doing color changes. Like, what? How would you not know that? It's like a fundamental thing.
One of the ones that you showed me that like made me like eye roll the hardest was, it was like a turtle or some kind of bug or something like that, and it had color changes. And it's like, if you would have tilted this at 45 degrees, there would only been one color change between each layer because of the way that the bug was shaped. But if you do it flat, well, then now it's printing the angles and doing a filament change as it goes up the model. Like the eyeballs were white and they had black pupils in them. And it's like, if you would have tilted that so that the black was the top layer, like, for on the Z-axis, it wouldn't have had to change to black for one tiny fucking millimeter of eyeball pupil every single time.
It's just like the multicolor, like AMS.
And also, black paint costs nothing. You could just put a dot on there.
Well, that's the thing is, like, the AMS printing is like ruined people's brains. Like, you'll find like models, like especially like older models and stuff on like Thingiverse or on Person, like whatever, where it's like, here's how you print this cool little dragon, and here are the eyes. Print these in black and glue them in. Like, that's how you design things. Not like, oh, my printer, I can just have it spit out, fucking 100 grams of wasted filament to put these eyes in. Like, fuck, man. Like, Jesus. Design shit correctly, you assholes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I ordered
especially if you're going to upload your design to one of these repositories. Like,
that's why I really
make sure
appreciate
it's not a stupid one.
Yeah, I really
then
appreciate
people can
that
come
do
in
that.
and without knowing how to design stuff and print it in a way that's not stupid.
Yeah, I
there
really
needs to be
appreciate
more
people.
curation on these sites.
I did order some. My next 3D printing experiment is I ordered some clear, transparent PETG, and I'm gonna try and make just clear windows essentially into things. And that's a fun project because you basically have to tinker with the print temp and speed in order to get it actually clear. The reviews were so funny because they were like, they said it was transparent, but this is what I got, and they obviously did it with like the fine setting on their slicer, so the lines were really thin, and they did it fast, and it's like, if you want it clear, you need it to go slow and to be like 10 degrees hotter so that it can actually fully melt into, because every single gap in your layer lines is so microscopic as they might be, and they won't matter at all for support strength. If there's an air gap there, that looks white in a like that's a scratch on a piece of transparent clear plastic. So you basically just need it melted. And also to finish the top layer, you probably don't want to sand it because that's going to be a bunch of, that's like scratching a plastic window. But you can get clear epoxy and put it on, and that will
same refraction index.
There you go. And so like there are ways that you can actually use the clear transparent PETG and get. I'd say that if you actually want like a window, like something, a big thing, just go buy an acrylic sheet from the hardware store. They're not expensive. But if you want something that's kind of funny shaped and you don't have to cut that out of acrylic, well, then this is kind of what I think I'm going to do. And I've got an idea in my head that I'm going to build out of normal people materials, an outdoor like cat bungalow, and there's a heat lamp in it and stuff. And I give it to my mom because she has an outdoor cat on the farm that she lives on. And it has a heat lamp and a hammock outside, but I was gonna build it like a little bungalow that she could also like feed it in and stuff. And I want it to have a window, but I also don't want to have to design the whole thing built around a very annoying square window. So I'm just going to, wherever I have room, once I've built it, take measurements and then print out with that clear stuff, whatever size window I need. So that's my next printing experiment.
I've seen some people experimenting with that, and I think this was from feeding it too fast. They got like tiny air bubbles mixed in with the filament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, if
There's
you
a lot
wanted
that
air
can go
bubbles,
wrong.
if you wanted something that looked like that, it might be kind of cool.
Yeah, just kind of
You
like
could like
overload.
throw your PETG into a bucket of water for a little bit, because as it pops, as it boils the water in there, it would actually make air bubbles. So if you printed it fast and really hot and got that to happen, as it pops, it would shoot air bubbles into the still melted filament. So that might actually be a fun, like, if you want it to look like fuzzy or like foamy or something. That'd be
They
pretty neat.
do make foaming filaments too, that I just don't understand.
Okay. I've
What's
not
the
seen
use?
these.
What's the use case for like a foaming FDM print? But
Yeah.
To,
All
to
right.
fuck up your print.
yeah, I guess.
Speaking of what's the use, what are all you assholes doing? I have an Am I the
Dang
What you
asshole?
assholes doing?
I have an.
Are we doing Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, why not?
Yes,
Yeah.
you posted on Reddit, so the answer is yes.
Yes. Yep.
I
You
was
are
just
an
wondering
asshole.
if we was going to switch to the main event, or if TJ hadn't, or if Matt hadn't gotten around to it yet.
Thank you. My God, I
Oh.
completely forgot what we were
I'm
going to
not gonna
record
get
about this
around to it.
week. Holy shit. Fuck. God damn it. Well, Matt didn't do it, but I don't know if Matt was ever going to do it.
I think
No.
Matt has too many.
It would fuck
Yeah.
my stomach up to bed.
Yeah, I think Matt has too many.
Never mind. We'll save the
digestive
assholes for
system
next week.
problems.
Mm-hmm.
Although I will say, Matt, it's just a Culver's meal. You've had that all at
Yeah,
once
but
in your
you
stomach before.
dumped soda in it and stuff too.
Yeah, you do that to your stomach when you
So
take a
anyway,
drink of soda.
I am the asshole
I
because what
guess.
we're talking about is what we tanted last week or last episode. Sorry, these don't come out weekly.
Yeah.
It's like every other week. What we tanted last episode was we did McDonald's McMiracle rice. We did Taco Mirabelle rice.
Did we do the Miracle Rice? I thought we just talked about it.
I
don't
did
remember doing it.
McMiracle rice, so I don't know if
Okay.
you guys also did it.
So yes,
I didn't.
The thing about Mirabelle rice is that nobody fucking followed the rules. TJ, you did it, and you didn't even go to Taco.
You just
anything.
made
you went to just
tacos.
a Mexican restaurant. John
No.
went to Taco John's, which
Yeah.
I allowed because he is John.
I did Taco Bell. It's just I didn't have a rice cooker, so I had to do it stovetop rice.
Oh, okay.
That was my issue.
I remember this very clearly. You. Did
I have
not
the
go to Taco
recording. I have the
It's
recording.
true. There is a video
We
of
all
it
have the
on
recording.
YouTube. I
All right,
believe.
load it
Or
up and then
Twitch.
tell me if I'm hallucinating this.
No, we're not doing
Yeah.
that during this. Let's not litigate this. We don't have a lot of time left in the episode, so let's talk about the thing we did.
Join the Discord and learn whether or not I'm
Yes.
right or if I'm fucking hallucinating that memory.
DISSCHORD.com.
Yes.
All right, so we did that, and so then we were like, what do we all like? We all love Culver's. So I think we went with I think, did I call it Culver's? Someone said Mira Curd Rice, which is good.
I said
I-
Mira Curd Rice.
I
Oh,
like
but then
Curdiracle
you-
Rice.
Curdiracle
And then
Rice.
you posted Curdiracle Rice,
Curdiracle.
and I think that's just so much worse that it's better.
Yeah.
like it's just really stupid and funny.
The Curdiracle Rice.
I
Well,
think
because
I
it
like that
started
one
from
better.
the Japan
Yeah.
blog that I followed where they made McDonald's
Yep.
McMiracle Rice in their rice cooker, which was a Big Mac, chicken nuggets, fries, and then Coke. And then you squirt a little ketchup over it as a little dressing.
Yep.
So we got to do Culver's is what we thought. So we got to go to Culver's, and you have to get like what Culver's would be. I was like, what is the essence of a Culver's? So you got to get a Butterburger, obviously, in there.
Yep.
Did you put this under Hack the Menu? I'm trying to look at our photos that we shared.
I've got to hack the menu. Yeah,
Oh,
I think-
okay.
we-
Oh, you have a
we've got-
tiny
I
rice
think-
cooker,
I
which is
think
good.
I'm the only one.
They just found it.
posted-
Yeah.
I think no. TJ did post a plated image also.
Oh.
TJ and I posted plated.
I have a
images. don't think
plated
John
image.
did.
I didn't post it.
All right, so that the plated images will all be on Hack the Menu on our Discord.
Yep.
Sorry, you're right. I'll post that while we're talking. But so
I need to look at because I need to compare and see whose is the because I specifically plated mine to like be fucked up, but also on purpose. Like I arranged the things that you
Oh.
can discern.
I didn't give a shit. I just took a spoon and just got it on there. Got it all out of the rice cooker.
I mean, that's how I did. But then after that, I'm like, let's put a fry on the very top. That's like a cherry on top is a root beer soaked fry.
okay, I have posted my plated image.
There we go.
So like looking at Spanky's, so he did. So okay, so the idea was we were gonna do curds for sure. Root beer is the water.
Yep.
For the rice.
And then a butter burger. I did it a little differently, just because I had to follow Lauren's rules because she wanted to actually eat Culvers, so we had to get 2 meals, and so I cobbled together.
It was so hard for me to drive home with Culvers in the car and not have a curd.
Yeah, I had curds this week.
Garbage pile immediately when I got home.
I had curds.
So I
did
get
week.
myself a second root beer and a second thing of curds.
Yeah, hell yeah, exactly. So Spanky, your image looks pretty good there. It's just a bunch of shit piled in there. So you split your burger open.
Yes, I did.
And you put the bun sides down. Did you have the same problem I did in my video that I shared?
Let me check the video because I don't remember.
You didn't see.
Oh, so Spanky did put the buns in there. Okay. I wasn't sure.
God.
Yeah, the video. Yeah, the video is unearthly in mine. So I think the thing that failed this, that for some reason, maybe it's just the way that McDonald's buns are built. But anyway, so we should explain this. So it's putting in a butter burger, curds, and fries or not fries, whatever. I didn't do fries. I did something else.
I did fries.
Yeah, and then putting in a rice cooker with the appropriate amount of rice, and then using the root beer as the water, and then doing a rice cooker, and then eating the meal that comes from it. I have my big rice cooker, which was too much. I took an image of just let's do Spanky's first since he did this first. So the first image there looks pretty. It actually looks pretty appetizing in that rice cooker, because I'm seeing the curds, I'm seeing the cheese on top here. Why did you split the burger? What was the reasoning?
I split the burger because I remember when I did the McMiracle Rice, the bun disintegrated. So I was like, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to allow the bun to fucking turn to mush. I know it's going to disintegrate. And I know that, like, even if I can get a piece of it out that survives, the moment I touch it with a fork, it goes to mush. So I'm not even going to bother with that. And part of that was I wanted, if the buns completely soaked up that root beer, they would become it would turn into a Culver's root beer porridge almost that would mix in with the rice and thicken it up. So I wanted to, because what I didn't want to happen was for most of the root beer to just evaporate away. So I did that as a method to keep the root beer as part of the finished product in terms of that. And you can see my rice is pretty mushy.
Yeah. My problem I had with mine is that the rice to water ratio was completely fucked. And so I had lots of really hard rice pockets. It didn't all cook correctly, and I think it's because my bun soaked up so much of the water. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't do it right.
So
I will say I cooked mine in an Instant Pot, not a regular rice cooker. So I didn't have a lot of steam coming out of it while I was cooking.
I did. So yours was able to keep the steam in there.
Yeah, because it seals. Yeah. I had it sealed while I was cooking.
Nice. So
although we didn't cook it too long, and there was some burnt root beer rice on the bottom of it, but
okay, can you?
I had a little bit.
So
not very much.
We've seen the photo. Can you explain the taste and everything
of mine?
Yes. Can you explain how it was for you?
I can. I've got a whole set of notes.
Yeah, I
will start off. So I think the method that we should use here is to start off with a general.
Yeah.
Like before we go into it,
yeah.
just in not necessarily in the patented born in the 80s scale, although if you want to, you can give that. But like just a whether or not it was a good experience for you.
Yeah. Matt,
that should be the first thing, and then you can freestyle it out.
Matt can. We want to involve Matt here because he asked if we invented Wisconsin poutine. I think that is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
The answer to whether or not this is a good experience for me, I think surprising nobody, is yes. I did like this. I thought it was fun to do. I was looking forward to it. It made my house smell like Culver's because it was essentially just Culver's flavored steam leaking into my house. and I have never worked at a Culver's and therefore enjoy the smell of one. It was a generally good experience for me, because at the end of the time I got to eat what to me was still just Culver's. Like, it wasn't in the same form factor as I usually eat it, but it did not taste like something that wasn't Culver's in the end.
Okay.
So that was good for me. I liked that.
Yeah.
Now here's my notes. I have 5 notes on the thing,
Okay.
kind of on different parts.
I gotta find my notes
of the whole project. The first one is that my bread disintegrated completely, and I expected it to. That's the reason I put it bun down, is because I expected it to. So I was like, "Fuck it, just get it in the mix, and then let everything else cook on top." And it wasn't goopy, like it didn't come out as a slime. I just stirred it into the rice, and it came out, as you can see in my
photos.
photos.
My god,
the
you
rice
shared the
became
full JPEG too. I did a screenshot, but I can zoom in in beautiful detail of this. This is a beautiful photo.
Yeah, so that was my first note, was just like to get it out of the way. The bread featured none into this, and that was a little bit that'll come up later, because the bread on a Butterburger it's buttered bread. It's a butter burger, and that's yummy. And on a McDonald's bun, that's not buttered. That is mostly preservatives. It's the littlest amount of like matter is there on a McDonald's bun. So when it melted into my rice and became mush, it did add the flavor, like the buttery flavor, which I will come back to in a second, because the root beer I thought was very interesting, and I think I told this to someone else who I saw at that mutual aid fair, and told him what fucking crimes I was doing. What I wrote here was, and I wrote this right after eating it. It definitely affected the flavor of the rice way more than Coke did the McMiracle rice or Baja Blast did in the Mirabelle rice. So in Mirabelle rice, I used Baja Blast.
I did not. I chickened out.
That just kind of tasted to me like rice. Like, I mean, having a little bit of lime flavor and some sweetness in rice is very normal. It wasn't a crazy thing to have done. Now the Coke, that was kind of a crazy thing to have done to rice. But I also remember it not really, like, I didn't taste Coke when I ate rice. Now, I did taste root beer when I ate this rice. It reminded me of like a root beer candy. It absolutely 100% made the rice different than in a way that did not happen with the Mirabelle or the McMiracle rice. And I also wrote, it worked really well because of the earthy sweetness with the oily butteriness of the Butterburger bun. So I think that like having the root beer flavor with some butter and kind of having that in rice, that was already an interesting enough flavor on its own, where I told someone, like, this could just be a thing you do with some meal. Like if you make like a broccoli beef and you put root beer in your rice water, like I think that might just be good. Like, it's weird as shit, but like I think that might actually just be something that like comes out being good, and I might try that someday. The third note I made was that I liked the curds, but that's because I like melted cheese, and like when it comes down to it, it was just, here's some melted cheese on your food, and I'm always gonna be down for that. I did also write that they held their shape a bit, like they didn't completely turn to mush, so like I could get a bite of curd with my fork, it would stay together, and then I would get a nice cheesy bite. But I wouldn't say that it like retained its full like viscosity and shape. Like it was, like you can see there in my photo, that's there, but it was smushy. It was very mushy, and I wrote that of all the ingredients, the curds were the biggest downgrade of the whole experiment, even though I liked them, because it really is taking a wonderful crunchy deep fried curd and turning it into a lesser version of that, which is a bit of breading and some melted cheese. And so that was the biggest downgrade. other note, I don't think the Culver's fries are all that special anyway. I never really. That's I get
No,
curds
they're
instead of
not.
fries. I think the Culver's fries kind of suck. Like, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that Culver's fries are there for picky kids and people who are incorrect. I think that's why Culver's fries exist. They're fine, but they're like Oritas from the frozen aisle taste just as good as Culver's fries.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. And I did know though they retained their shape just fine, and it was like having some potatoes in your stir fry. It was fine. It just tasted like a bit of potato in a bite. It didn't turn to mashed potato and go into it and disappear. So I was fine with it. But like again, I don't even say that's a downgrade the way that the curds were because I don't care that all much about them anyway. My final note was I got a burger. So my burger that I got, which I think John had said to get this one, but I don't remember because there's two ways you could have gone with it. You could have got the ultimate or whatever it's called there, which I think is
Deluxe.
mayo, lettuce, tomato,
Yep.
something else. Mine was
You got onion, I see.
Yes, I had a double butter burger, and what came on it was ketchup, mustard, pickle, onions.
Got it. Yeah.
And which is a good. That's a solid burger condiment setup there. And thought it was good. I mean, I'm also like I like mustard in things. I remember there was like at the Pizza Insurrection that I worked at. They had a barbecue, or a bacon cheeseburger pizza, and the sauce was just mustard. And I remember eating those and liking them. Like I like mustard in ways that isn't just the normal way you'd use a mustard. So having some mustard in my rice, I thought that was good shit. I liked it. The pickles, also same thing. I like a pickle in just about any food. So I was big on that. And the last thing I wrote down was the patties kept their flavor and their texture infinitely better than the Big Mac patties. I remember the Big Mac patties just falling apart and being sludge and not being very good. And obviously a Culver's burger is broiled. It is not that like essentially sous vide system, which isn't sous vide, but like, cook them until they're just the degree where they pass USDA temperature, and then they come out as like floppy pieces of shit like at McDonald's. Like this thing, I like this burger, and I would have this burger, this patty, and any fried rice. If you took me a Culver's burger, you chopped it up, and you put it into any fried rice, I would be a happy camper eating that burger. So that is my full review that I wrote immediately after eating this on a patented born in the 80s scale 1 to 5. This gets it's like a 4 for me. I think it was a more successful thing than McMiracle Rice, and I think I'd probably give the Mirabelle Rice a 5 out of 5 because when it came down to it, that was just Mexican rice.
Yeah.
It was just very simple ingredients in rice that already tastes good, and it's a food I would already eat, so it's not that big of a deal. This was weird, so it gets a point knocked off, but it was a bigger success than McMiracle Rice.
All right. Well, we can move on to mine. So I took some photos here.
And John's different because he didn't get fries. He got chicken tendies?
Yeah, so I took a photo of the disgusting swamp that was the rice with the root beer in it. I did not like the color. It was immediately off-putting.
See, this is where being colorblind is a superpower.
See, and this is where I wish I had a smaller rice cooker because I had to do 2-cup rice. Which is just where that is.
I guess I have a big question for you guys.
I just set the burger in.
How much dry rice did you both use?
Well, I used whatever I used my rice cooker has specific rice cup that you put in it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So I used
I
2.
eyeballed it. I make rice enough that I'm pretty good at eyeballing it.
Okay.
So my rice cooker specifically, I think, is each scoop is a cup, and I think the scoop is like enough to make 1 cup of finished rice. I think. Or not, or something like that. Anyway, so I think I do 3 because I think that's the lowest line I had. So I had a lot of rice left over that I threw away.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yes, smaller rice cooker would be better. But so I did the butter. I think I did the same way Spanky did. So I did a butter burger with all the condiments. I don't know if I got an onion or not. I maybe did. Anyway, I got it with mustard, ketchup, pickles. Anyway. Curds were very submerged in mine because of how much more space I had in mine. And then I did 1 tendy with the Culvers signature sauce, because they have their signature sauce. Which
I will say the photo of the signature sauce just living on top of
it does not look
swamp
good.
is a fucking nightmare. Like that is the worst part of this whole thing.
Yeah, and then the finished video.
The video is very good.
So I took a video of mine when it was finished, and you can see the chicken strip there with the stem. You can see the curds here all kind of stayed on the top, but then there's just the most unholy jiggle from the completely dissolved bun on the bottom. So my thoughts with this, and then I plated it. So let me get my plated photo. And so here's my plated photo. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But you can see the rice here. Some of it is very not fully cooked.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is, but a lot of it isn't. So the ratios got messed up with that. So I'm going to stop my stream so I can bring up my notes. Okay, so first note I had was bottom bun dissolved. I did not like that texture. It was like glue. It just did not work for me. I don't know whether just the ratio I had or whatnot. I did not like that. It was not tasty. So I wish that I would have taken it and put it patty side down on each side and had the bun up, because the bun that was up tasted really good because it was like steamed. Like it was really soft and like pillowy and delicious. So I had cut
steamed ham.
Yes, steamed ham, exactly. It's a Utica expression. Curds were still good. I think I would tend to agree with Spanky because the texture, you don't get the crispiness, but like the flavor of the curd still there. It wasn't like any more rubbery or anything. The texture was still, it was fine. Like curds
it holds
taste
together
good.
well enough that you get the breading flavor and you get melted cheddar cheese and like that. That's already a win in my book.
It tasted good. Like it's curds. They taste good. I wrote the vaguely root beer flavored rice was weird. I would note
it definitely was weird.
It had the most flavor out of all of the iterations we've done of this. Like the rice, the root beer made the rice taste like different. Whereas the Coca-Cola, I think it just made it taste a little bit sweeter. As you said, the Baja Blast just kind of made it vaguely like cilantro lime rice adjacent, so not that weird. This was weird. I don't know if I would say I liked it. I would say it was really interesting. Like it was interesting flavor profile.
That's what I wrote. Right, that was my one adjective about it. And I think that the rest of my comments were like, I wouldn't eat this again. But there's probably something out there where you could have root beer rice.
This is what I came up with when I was talking with Lauren about this, because she took some pieces to try it, and I was like, this isn't good, but I could see something like this working really well. Like like a cheeseburger rice would be good, because the butter burger itself held up. It was a little overcooked because it's just more cooked, but like the flavor of the burger, the pickle, the ketchup, the mustard in the rice, like something like a burger rice is like it could really work with the American cheese. Like I liked it like that. Like the burger part I liked eating. Like that was really good, and the rice around it. And then the curds were fine. Oh, the chicken strip actually was much better than the McDonald's nuggets, because Culver's chicken strips are like actual chicken tenderloins. So they're actual, like, they're not like goo like the McDonald's McNuggets are. So the breading didn't like peel off like it did with the nuggets. I remember the breading just becoming goop with the nuggets. So this was like, it tasted just like breaded chicken in like a stir fry. It was fine. Okay. It was totally fine. Like I would see that. So overall, I would say I would probably give it a 3 out of 5, if only just because that bun, it just, maybe just seeing it's what ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Like if I hadn't seen the unnatural jiggle that it had, I would have probably just scooped it out and been like, oh, this is fine.
This episode will be titled "The Unnatural Jiggle."
The unnatural jiggle, yes. So yeah, that's my notes on the old episode or the old the Curdiracle Rice. What about you, TJ?
TJ.
So I am doing this off the top of my head because
you just did it
today. I just did it today.
So for listeners, I did it like 2 weeks ago.
I did it
John did it last week, and TJ did it today.
TJ
yeah.
TJ has Curdiracle Rice in his stomach right now.
Yeah, TJ, our secret fifth guest host of this episode is the Curdiracle Rice in TJ's stomach.
Yes. Oh, right. So, first of all, tiny bit of Buick story before this.
Oh God.
I had to drive everyone around today, so I had to buy all this. I bought everyone Culvers and then my Culvers shit.
We went to every Culvers in the Chicagoland area. You got a different thing from every from Culvers in Chicagoland.
I was just feeding everyone else in the house, so I got them their orders, and then I have my stuff.
Yeah.
But then I had to drive people places, so it had to sit and wait before I got to do anything with it.
Got it.
So I also did get a double butter burger with cheese.
Yep.
But I just did ketchup and mustard. I think I should have done the onions, as much as I normally don't like it on a burger. I think it would have been really good in there.
Yeah.
Because it definitely turns into a very cooked onion.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a lot of people that don't like a raw onion, but they'll have a caramelized one.
Oh,
This was a touch it with your fork, it falls in half kind of onion.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely would not have done pickles, but I think tomato would have been good at this. Because you can do tomatoes.
This was what I was talking about with John.
I was worried about putting the shredded lettuce in there because that would just like.
I would not have done the shredded lettuce. That's
when I came back with this. We was watching football. It was a Sunday, and I told John the one thing that like kind of made me not want to go for the other one, the ultimate burger, whatever it's called, ultimate butter burger, deluxe butter burger, whatever it is, is
deluxe.
Deluxe. Okay.
John just said deluxe. Yeah.
Okay, deluxe. So I would have been fine with the gross lettuce. I'm okay with that, even though I understand that would be gross. The tomato, I thought it sounded good, but it's got mayo on it, and like. I don't know. That's a recipe for it turning into hell. And like, because I like mayo, but it's already a butter burger. Like, how oily am I gonna make this fucking rice? You know what I mean?
That's true. That is very true.
Because after instant pot pressure cooking it, I don't know if that much butter and that much mayo would just come out with a floating slime on top or not. So that was. I agree with you with the tomato. That's why I stayed with the other one, though.
Honestly, instead of the mayo, you wouldn't get this at Culver's, but if you put just a little, like, end of a teaspoon of beef tallow in there, that would be really good for the rice.
Yeah.
That's the kind of oil I would have
did get some beef. I'm sure we got a little bit of beef fat going on in the rice.
Also, for anyone making
John's elevated version that he would come up with.
I was about to say anyone making we need binging with Babish here to make a version.
Yeah.
Anyway, just quick rice cooker hack for anyone is better than bouillon. Just throw some of that in your rice cooker when you make your rice. You just immediately make delicious flavored rice, beef or chicken. Or
garlic.
vegetarian.
The garlic one fucking rules.
Yeah, I was about to say, or just the vegetarian ones. They have a roasted garlic one that's really good. Yeah,
Anytime I make a pork chop or anything like that, and I just want a quick bready side. Well, I'm from the South, so I make cornbread. But if I'm out of cornbread mix, I will do some garlic better than bouillon in my rice.
I also like to use Vegeta in the rice, but that's me. That's a Hungarian spice mix. It's basically powdered vegetable soup stock, so it's just like veggie flavor. Anyway,
so
TJ, yes, you had a tiny rice cooker that you found.
My in-laws found a 6-cup rice cooker.
Ooh, okay,
and I've also never used a rice cooker before. This is my first time.
I love my rice cooker.
I put in a half a cup of uncooked rice, and it looked like it wasn't going to be enough, so I put a little bit more in there. I think that was a bad decision. I think the half a cup would have been perfect.
Especially with a fucking weird thing like this, you always want more water than right. Like, it's fine if you fuck up the rice so bad that it's goop in this specific scenario.
My liquid balance was not a problem, though. I just poured in, like, I had a regular sized cup of the I did a diet root beer, and which I think probably was a bad choice. I think regular sugar would have done better and caramelized better than sucralose or whatever's in the diet root beer. But
probably.
It's true. But I did 2/3 of that regular cup, and there was no ice in there, so there was plenty of root beer for this. Yeah,
that is a ball sack texture.
It is. So I wanted to separate. I wanted my meat patties down and buns up, but I could not separate.
There's the episode title.
I know.
Patties down, buns up.
Meat down, buns up.
Yeah, so I attempted to separate the two patties, could not do it. So I ripped the patties in half. So I had half of 2 stacked patties under one bun and half of 2 stacked patties under another bun. So there was some bun to root beer contact that turned them into kind of a gelatinous mess. It had the unnatural wiggle like John's did.
I think the pressure cooker got you there, Spanky, because I think that maybe helped dissolve the bun past the jiggle.
Yes. Yeah.
Because mine was just like, it was gummy. It was just not good texture.
Well, also, I had everything on top of it.
Yeah.
So, like, there was nothing to jiggle. I had fries on top of it.
Yeah, yours was, like, weighed down into it.
So even if I jiggled it, there was nothing to jiggle. And by the time I scooped it out, it was already fucking fell apart.
That's what I'm saying. I think you got yours a little bit more done. Like, mine was not done enough.
My texture of the buns was fine. It's just I had direct contact with the liquid, so it was absorbing the stuff, but also steaming in it. So it just ended up, it was too sweet. The bun ended up way too sweet, and I did not like it.
So you get all that sugar content,
the fake sugar
concentrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fake sugar content.
Yeah.
So cheese curds were great. Fries were just, I'm like, whatever, I guess.
That's Culver's fries in general.
Culver's fries. It's not. They're not a steak and shake fry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not a place where you get excited to eat the fries there.
Yeah, even McDonald's, like, their fries are
yeah, McDonald's is the big one. I would say Steak and Shake is also one. Those shoestring fries.
The
rice fries used to be good, but now they suck. But breakfast
Wednesday's fries was great when it first switched to the natural cut, and then somewhere in there they just fucked it up.
Yeah, they changed their recipe to be more delivery friendly. So they stay crispier longer.
They have a lot. Yeah, they have a lot that basically coated with the potato starch.
Yeah.
So they're cut, and then all the potato starch is just sprayed all over them and frozen again. So when they drop them in, they're just covered in that potato starch, which makes them taste like nothing, but they stay crispy longer.
Yeah, the texture is good, but the flavor
rice
is
was
bad.
actually. Yeah. The rice ended up good texture, nice mix of both the beef and the sweet. It was just kind of a.
I didn't hate my rice. I just wish it would have been cooked better. Yeah. Kind of bad cooking.
And mine were cooked perfectly fine. I did have one little bit of rice that had a little bit of the caramelized root beer on it, which that tasted perfectly fine. When I got to the patties and I got a little bit of that ketchup mustard, I'm like, oh, that does brighten this up a little bit. So I did top it with extra ketchup.
I should have done that too. Yeah. Ketchup would have gone a ways.
But when I was getting a little bit of rice, a little bit of beef, and a little bit of cheese curd all at once, it reminded me of the way that I make tater tot casserole. That's kind of what I was getting.
That is so accurate. Tater tot casserole is kind of like this, because instead of rice, you have tater tots.
Yeah, exactly. And you would think I would get those notes from the French fries, but the French fries were so shit, I definitely didn't.
Yeah, like I said, they tasted more like potatoes in a stir fry than they tasted like French fries.
Yeah,
just based starch. Well, good. Honestly, what did you like it? Thoughts?
I would give this thing a solid 3 out of 5. Born on the 80s rating scale. That's not a bad score.
I feel like it could have been a 4 had I prepared it better. You know, but it just ended up being a 3. Because the curds were fine. My rice texture was off. I feel like if I kept both the buns up and had the meat down, so that meat had more contact with the rice and water.
Meat down, buns up.
Exactly, meat down, buns up. That's the way to do it. That's the way we like to fuck. Meat's down.
I wish I could have separated my patties to do that all the way. It just feels like how seared their because it basically makes smash burgers.
Yes.
They're pretty close.
So, I'd love to separate my patties to go all the way.
Love to separate my patties. Gotta go all the way.
Oh. Yeah.
But no, they're so seared. They're not giving as much of their oils, juices, and
'Cause
whatnot to the
yeah.
rice as much as I'd like.
Yeah,
So,
put a little bouillon in there too.
put a little bouillon. Maybe half rice, half water. I'm sorry, half root beer, half water. I probably would do that again.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to seek this out to try it again.
The only one of these that I would do again is the Taco Bell one, but that's just because I would just enjoy a bowl like a
it's just like a bowl,
Taco Bell.
a rice bowl.
So,
Yeah.
Spanky, I think you are kind of right about my thing. I did cheat out because I don't think I did exactly what you guys did. I didn't do the exact meal from Taco Bell you did. I think I did
John
like it
didn't
2
go
tacos.
to Taco Bell. He went to Taco John's.
I think
Yeah, I
I
know.
think I went to Taco John's because I think the Taco Bell was not open when I went there.
Yeah, I think yours was going through construction or something.
Yeah, so I was like, well, shit, I gotta do
So
Taco
that
John's.
one was already a shit show.
Yeah.
But the important part about it is that no matter where you went, it would have just tasted like Mexican rice, like just having a rice dish with Mexican food.
Okay, so
Or Taco Bell.
here's the question: we've done 3. What is next? What hill is there to climb?
Okay, here's the thing. I know what I want to do next.
Okay.
But I can't find one anymore.
Okay.
And that would be Hardee's Carl's Jr. Okay?
I don't think there's a Hardee's in my town anymore.
I know. I fucking miss it.
I used to have several. There's probably still one in Springfield.
And
what would you
I wouldn't
do?
I wouldn't
Frisco
do the
burger?
3rd-pound burger. No. Well, I guess you could do the Frisco burger. For me, it's the garbage hot ham and cheese that they have. Because I love that shit.
Oh, okay. Arby's. Boom. We have
Arby's.
Arby's.
Yeah.
Arby's, I could fuck with some Arby's, like a roast beef rice.
Hold up.
Will the meat just
hold up.
dissolve back into liquid?
So if we do Arby's,
Mountain.
it's got to be a French dip and use the au jus as our.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, French dip. Oh, yep.
And curly
yeah,
fries.
This will actually be Arby's because
Okay.
that already like
Yeah.
au jus and you have to add water. To
I have an Arby's
but au
near me
jus
as well.
for rice. This
So,
already sounds fucking delicious.
Arby's,
D-
Wendy's,
Does that mean
Pizza Hut,
we have to do Arby's sauce
Domino's.
with that too?
Go ahead. Sorry.
If we're doing the au jus, I guess we got to do the Arby's sauce. As much I'm not a horseradish fan, but we got to throw that in there.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what I mean? Just put a little bit in.
yeah.
Curly fries.
Well, I mean,
Curly
we
fries.
don't need to do identical. I think we just need,
Yeah, it's
to
true.
our own tastes, but like you got to have the essence of the restaurant. So like for Arby's, you got to have some of the roast beef in there. So the French dip makes sense because that's the roast
Yeah, it
beef, and then
does.
you have the au jus that would help flavor the rice.
I
So
just think
actually,
that would taste
that
delicious.
sounds
on rice
really
anyway.
good to me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like any of the fast food chains. So like, yeah, we still have a Wendy's, we still have Arby's, we still have Pizza Hut, we still have Domino's, we still have, I guess, Papa John's.
Hold on, Thanksgiving is coming up. We could get the Cracker Barrel rice and get the Cracker Barrel Thanksgiving.
Cracker Barrel rice. That sounds intriguing, actually.
I've
It
never
does.
had it, but people have told me that like after their kids, like old people, they're like after my kids moved out, we stopped doing Thanksgiving dinner and we just get a Thanksgiving dinner from Cracker Barrel. And I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna search.
I
that.
mean, what I'd rather do, I'm just not far enough south for it. Is I'd rather do a Waffle House rice.
You don't have Huddle House up there?
No, not this far north.
Yeah, we don't have them
We
either.
could do a Popeyes rice.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
good. We have Popeyes.
I can
Cajun rice.
I can fuck with that.
Ooh.
Mira,
Yeah,
Mira
just be Cajun
Cajun
rice.
Louisianical rice.
Anyway, well, I don't think I can do one of these so back to back. So I think that might be early
no.
2026.
These have all been like
Yeah.
a year or two apart each
Yeah.
time.
Well, anyway, so if you the listener have any thoughts, please send us an email, bitecast@gmail.com, or
Join the Discord and
join
talk
the
to us
Discord and
directly.
talk to us. But oh yeah, that reminds me. I mean, we're kind of done with the episode, but
Yeah.
the Bitecast email inundated with requests for interviews from other people. I will have to go over
you
these
so-
next time.
Wait, are you kidding?
No.
Well, no, it's like when you answer a robocall,
Uh-huh.
your account gets flagged
okay.
as yes, they do respond to this request.
So we have a David Roberts who's representing an Amanda who is a professional poker player who's writing a book that wanted to talk.
I mean,
There
if that's
was-
legit,
Did
I
you
would do
guys
it.
Get on.
There was founder of some med tech company that wants to talk on the podcast. There's a veteran dad marketing guy. So I have a feeling that there must be some sort of like podcast guest email ring serve that you can get on that people send. I'm assuming that's probably what happened with Kayla Yu as well, is that she initially did that, and then when we responded, she talked in person.
Kyla you.
Kyla Yu, thank you.
Kyla you. Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that's what happened. And we got bit, but I haven't answered any of these. So I'll go into those more detail next episode. So I'll tant that because I do want to talk because they are the most corporate speak things ever. And like, at least with Kyla Yu, her book sounded at least somewhat tangentially related to us because she was in the Tokyo Drift movie, which we had an episode on. She talked about like media in the 90s. You know, it was like, okay, this is somewhat tangentially related to our podcast.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of struck gold by like getting someone who that did have a book that made for an interesting enough conversation.
All of the other
also
stuff
it
is
was a
like
real book.
corporate, like insane shit, like recruiter stuff.
So like, and like, I feel like once you've been bitten by the email flag of yes, they respond to interview requests.
Yeah,
it's over, right? Like it's like now you can't do it again.
Yeah,
you can't because it's WoW Classic is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play WoW Classic and have it feel like it used to because now we've got Reddit and min-maxing and like 20 years of private servers and all that shit. Like it is a ruined experience after the first time it existed.
Yeah, I looked up like Kyla Yu and around the time her book came out, she just did tons of podcasts. So I think it was just like anyone that would have her on, she'd talk. I mean, it makes sense. If you're doing a book and you want to promote it, it's like I could spend an hour and then maybe I'll get 2 copies of my book sold. You know, that's, $20 for me. Why not? Yeah, so anyway, thought it was interesting. But we can go over some of those. There's some really hilarious sounding people to try and get into, and I can maybe research them. We can look them up, but they sound far less interesting than Kyla was. So
yeah.
This veteran dad turns empty nest into comedy gold. Like
That
what?
doesn't sound like it's gonna be comedy gold.
No. Anyway, all
Can't
right.
say anything anymore because of woke.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks
They
everyone
don't
for
respect
listening.
to
that
Saudi Arabia.
I killed people for money for the government.
Yeah. It turns out in Saudi Arabia, you're actually able to say more than you're able to say in America now.
I can't believe we didn't even talk about the Saudi Arabian Mr. Beast theme park.
Is that a thing?
It's a deal.
I love it.
Whether
Wow,
it
that
actually
is a
turns
really
into
good
actual
teaser.
construction, who knows?
That is a really good teaser for the next episode of Born in the 80s. Tune in next time, guys, for the Mr. Beast Saudi Arabian theme park episode. And also, we read emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beast Land.
Bye.
Oh my god, this literally
Bye.
fucking was announced yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.